The podcast you are listening to of Holmberg's Morning Sickness is brought to you by my friends at Eric's Family Barbecue in Avondale. Meet, mesquite, repeat. Trust me on this one. You've had barbecue before, but you haven't had it this good. Eric's Family Barbecue in Avondale, ericsfamilybbq.com.
When was the last time you had really good Texas-style barbecue? Eric's Family Barbecue, the way it's supposed to taste. Always delicious, never rushed, and prepared to perfection. Eric's Family Barbecue uses only 100% fresh meat, slowly smoked over mesquite wood until it's juicy and delicious. We all know their brisket is the best, but have you tried their pulled pork, pork ribs, or rib tips? Amazing, and their sides are all house-made. Eric's Family Barbecue in Avondale. Meet, mesquite, repeat. Make the trip. You won't be sorry. Go to ericsfamilybbq.com for more information.
Holmberg's Morning Sickness.
You've been deceived by an agent of Satan himself. He's evil.
Sitting right here. Come on.
No, he's not. He's not evil. He's just a bit rude.
98 UPD.
Yoy. There you go. It is Silence the Voice for a couple more weeks, and then, we've got our new Play-Doh champion.
I'm excited to see what they come up with.
Me too. It's always fun to have that theme song idea. It's fun. Get a new theme song starting in January from Weapon of Pride, this year's champion. Bunch of kids working on it right now. They got their money. They got their studio time. Hopefully they're using it wisely for us.
They're already touring. I saw they're going to Prescott.
Is that right?
Yeah.
They're heading to Prescott? That's great.
Like next week or 2 weeks from now, yeah.
The best thing about it is like I said, they're the only band that was on stage last week with Hope because they're young.
Yeah.
All the other ones, they're going to get maybe a pop here, maybe a pop. These guys actually have hope that they could work into something. We'll see. Weapon of Pride. We're looking forward to it. It should be great. It's a bit of a somber, I guess, but still happy time here at KUPD. We are in the throes of a change, and we have not had many over the, I don't know, we've been here for 20 years, and it's not many. We've had a couple, not too much. This staff has been intact for the majority of the time I've been here with minor adjustments here and there, nothing major at all.
The crazy part is Fitz is the new guy.
He's
been here 15 years.
Fitz is the new guy. And, so minor adjustments here and there, a couple little tweaks, nothing to really rattle the cages of the entire building. This one rattled our building yesterday. And we've talked about him on the air before, and this is very rare in a radio station. You hear this much about a guy who does promotions. But our own Mark Randall, who you all know well, we've sent him out. We've teased Mark for ages. He's been part of the show. He's been part of the station, save for a month of our time here. He showed up a month after. Mark is leaving us for greener pastures, more money, essentially, and that's a good thing, He's pretty much
great opportunity.
This is the truth for Mark Randall. Very talented coworker and a guy who just does a great job. But he's hit his ceiling here. There's not a whole lot more he can do at KUPD, and he's been here on love of the station more than he has opportunity in life, and so he finally had to take opportunity in life. The dude is he bleeds the KUPD red. He absolutely does, and he's been an integral part of everything that happens here. So it's kind of like it's losing a limb for the first time since we've been here, and we'll grow one back. We'll be all right, but it's tough to see Mark go. He's off to, I believe, Odyssey, which is another
in Denver,
place,
right?
Something like that. I don't know, and all I hope for, because I love Mark, is that his new bosses never find out about his questionably aged porno collection. That's all I care about, is that the Odyssey people don't ever find out that Mark Randall dabbles in porn of a certain age, I'll say. That's all. And that's, it's none of our, we turned a blind eye to it because he's so good at his job. That and the prostitutes. I mean, the incredible line of prostitutes used to drag through the building late at night because no one was here. Brett, because you were an overnight guy.
I see nothing.
The young, androgynous, we're not sure, questionably aged prostitutes.
Lady boys.
Yes, the lady boys of a questionable age. Mark was huge on that, and hopefully
could be a great fit.
But he's so good at his job. It could be a great fit. You don't know, but he's great at that stuff. But hopefully they understand that the porn collection and the young androgynous prostitutes that will be in their buildings are a thing that they just have to weigh against his quality work. So I would love to see Mark stay. I don't know how to make him stay, but I just hope that his new bosses
one of the deal breakers was...
also the AR-15 shooting stuff he does in the parking lot when he tries to scare the sales staff. When they
that's true.
And he hides in bushes with his guns. It's funny to us because we've known him for so long, but will it be to his new coworkers? Just hopefully Mark Hopefully Mark makes it over there, but there's a lot to understand about him that we've understood for years.
I heard one of the things they offered him was a higher stipend on what he could spend at Yankee Candle every month.
Oh yeah, and the embezzling. The embezzling is the other thing for the Yankee candles and the Skrillex T-shirts. That's right. I forgot about all that. Yeah, he embezzles a lot of company money for candles and scented potpourris. That's true. But again, it's because we've known him. He's our comfortable shoes. We know his quirks, his idiosyncrasies, Brady, as they say. He is our little angel, and hopefully the folks over there. And I believe it's called Odyssey or Audacity. Is it Audacity?
Odyssey.
I call it the audacity to have radio stations. It used to be like 9 other things, wasn't it? Was it CBS?
It was.
Yeah, they change their name all the time, like they're paying child support. I don't understand that company's constant name changes. I don't work there, and I don't care. But
so many divisions.
Oh, there's 1,000 divisions, and Mark will be part of that. Audi Radio has hired Mark in his porn collection, his AR-15 fun games in the parking lot, his questionable of age and gendered prostitution.
A lot of denim coming your way.
All of that. Oh, there's a lot of denim orders, and of course the embezzling. But you guys are going to love him. He's great. So congratulations to Audacity Radio for hiring one of our arms. Mark's a big deal. We could not have done what we've done without Mark Randall. And because of the way he built what he did, we now can move on without Mark Randall. Because that's the scary part, is he did such a good job putting the foundation together that we can just take what he did and move on. But he's one of those people that truly is the guy that if I leave, my fingerprint's going to stay on this. A lot of people say that. And, we've all been in that thing when somebody gets fired and they scream, this place will fall apart without me. Okay, said every fired guy ever. Stop it. The place will be fine. Dave Pratt thought this place would just burn to the ground because the fans wouldn't tell it. We're fine. 20 years, we're good. Everybody who thinks they're fired thinks that they're a lot more important than they are. They fire me tomorrow, I'll probably feel like that place is going to cave in, and then some jackass comes in doing 1,000 different new things. I'm like, that kid's pretty good. You just tip your cap and hope for the best. Everything moves on without you. It's ego. It's vanity. It ain't all waiting on you, as they say in No Country for Old Men. That's vanity. So, but Mark Randall is one of those guys that, at least for us, when he goes, that Mark Randall thumbprint is going to be firmly on this place for a while. And we're going to use his way to get things done because it's a good way. Aside from the child porn, the prostitutes, the AR-15 sales department, and the candle embezzlement. Other than all that stuff, that
bottom line's going to reflect that right off the bat.
Yeah, we're going to start seeing more money because the lawsuits will fall. And he uses most of the time he goes on those porn sites and does the what do they call that? Behind the firewall, where he makes those kids dance and naked, and he pays for that on it. Well, you've seen it. We've all turned a blind eye to it because his work is so good. Congratulations, Audacity! You got yourself a gem. And if it doesn't work out, we'll take him and all this weirdness back. Mark always has a home. Always has a home here. We'll fire whoever replaces him in a second. To have Mark back in the building because he's that guy. So he is beloved in this room.
That'll be interesting to see what happens because there could be, some cheese moving going on. If there's a new person rolling in, new systems.
Well, the good news is, Brady, Larry's been here for 30 years. We've been here for 20. Some new guy comes in swinging his dick. We'll stomp him into the earth pretty fast. So I'm not real worried about new guy coming and going, here's that thing's going to work now. It's like, you can off real quick because the child porn guy, we're doing it his way.
I'm just saying the 3 or 4 ones that last about a month deal.
No, that's the problem I have. Now, the one thing that is true is that the new people because I even told Larry yesterday, I'm like, look, we need to do something to make sure that we don't have this open door now. Because the turnover is something this station has never had, which is an amazing thing in radio. I just can't. I don't want a dude to be here for 8 months. I'm going to go over Audacity too and work with Child Porn Randall, and then just have all this stuff. We need a guy that's steady and stays. That's it, and we'll be all right. The hiring process will include that. But I love him. I think he's one of the best people. And we spent an hour and a half together yesterday at the Humane Society and talked it out. I will say, and there's not many people I say this about. I'll certainly miss Mark, having him in the building and stuff. They occasionally drove each other nuts, and that's just how you know you're brothers. So it's been a hell of a run. He's a great guy. So he's got another couple weeks here. We'll have a big blowout for Randall. It's, in fact, Wednesday night. over at the
Tip
beer
one to
party.
Randall?
We're going to tip a few to Randall, and we'll get Mark nice and toasty, and then maybe he'll show us some of that stuff in his phone that's so illegal and horrible that is now going over to Audacity Radio, which I am very excited for them to be collecting all that, because I have been worried that eventually there's going to be a sting operation here.
Now that's gone.
Now that finally leaves our building and goes over to Audacity, which I'm fine with. Look, keep it over there. I still think he's a wonderful person, but that stuff in his phone is criminal. Anyway, probably a company phone they'll give him at Audacity that'll do it on. You're going to be paying for that. Audacity Radio. Is it Audio City? Is that what it's called? Audio?
It's
Odyssey.
Audio City? Audacity? Audacity. I'm going to call it.
autocrat.
Omicron. Omicron. By the way, people are sending me that. Say, don't forget, John, the leader of Unicron, the planet, was also known as the, the House of Chaos or something like that? That was what Unicron was. And the planet, Omicron Persei 8, the leader of the ruler planet, Omicron Persei, the nerds are out, was a guy named Lur, L-R-R-R, Lur. There's a picture of Lur. He is the president and leader of Omicron Persei 8. Omicron. So enjoy the Omicron.
I hear it just sounds like a potential new minivan for Chrysler. The Chrysler Omicron.
The new Chrysler Omicron. Sam Witwicky. I am Omicron. Anyway, good luck with getting that all together. Did you guys know that Kyle Rittenhouse was going to go to ASU?
Yeah, I heard that
Did you
during.
see that?
Yeah.
During the trial, it came out that he's been taking online classes at ASU. So a group of people at ASU protest. Now he's innocent and he's allowed to go, or he's not guilty, and he's just like OJ's not guilty, and he's allowed to go anywhere he wants. There was
Where's he taking his talents now?
Well, he wanted to go to ASU, but there's a big rally. Like students said, he's not allowed to go. Yeah, and Kyle Rittenhouse, and LeBron James. I'd pay to see Kyle Rittenhouse. LeBron James, the douchebag. LeBron James the other night had fans kicked out of a road game for harassing him and saying obscene things. And you know how he told the ref? He goes, something to the effect of, and I'm paraphrasing, he's like, stop the game. Pointed to two people in the front row, a husband and wife or a brother and sister, whatever. And the lady made a pouty face, and he goes, they need to be removed for saying certain things, blah, blah, blah. And the ref's like, who? And he goes, this here, F word, to the gestures and poor language that they were using towards him. Then he's fined, I think the next game, after a play, he throws the double birds at the crowd. Because he's such a classy individual, and he just can't tolerate obscene gestures and obscene language.
He's had a rough month.
He's a dick. And he's the least likable Superman ever. That guy's a dick.
I mean, when we talked about it when it happened, it's interesting. There's a couple of people. It was Skip Bayless, I think, was the one. Like he came
hates
out.
LeBron.
Well, he said that, and he came out and he goes, "I've got to side with him on this one," which I found interesting
because they went immediately.
Because I think
everybody
they
assumed
did some
racism.
stuff that.
So what? It's a road game.
I know.
It's a road game. Hey, fragile flower on the court. The crowd hates you. You're in Indianapolis. You've got no fans.
But that surprised me. I mean, because Skip Bayless
is a douche. He's going to always go against the grain to make his ratings better. Yeah, listening to Skip Bayless is a bigger mistake than watching LeBron James. But you're on the road. What happened to athletes? I thought you're supposed to be laser focused and to shut the mechanism off, and you don't even hear the crowd. And when you do, you ignore it. Be tougher than that. I don't care if they're saying the most awful things in the world. Let the crowd around them handle that. If you're in Indianapolis and somebody's shouting out racial slur crazy, somebody from the arena is going to be like, calm it down. But as a player, you're proving that we can get to you by saying, I want them removed. That is weak. That is a weak-minded athlete that says, I need these road fans removed. Remember Robin Ficker? Robin Ficker was the world's greatest fan. He was the Washington Bullets heckler back when you were allowed to say Washington Bullets. Yeah. Everything in Washington had to change. The Bullets, the R words, all of it's gone. And for some reason, all these politicians stick around the same place.
The Chicago Bullets now.
That's exactly right, the Southside Bullets. But Robin Ficker was known as a guy that would ride you from the opening tip to the end. Other teams hired Robin Ficker to come sit front row when the Bulls or Knicks or somebody came to town because he knew them so well, being a Washington fan, and just hammered these guys. Now, he didn't racially do anything, but I don't know if he
I
cussed
think he was
a lot.
really good at getting to the coaches, too.
He could get under the skin of so many people. His job became professional heckler.
Yep.
Road heckler. You have no say over road fans riding you, period. Even if the fan isn't classy at all. And I'm fine with you talking back. I'm fine with a player mouthing back and saying horrible things about your C-word wife and all that other stuff. It's on. If you've got the guts to yell it at them and they say something back, you can't. That lady in Chicago that got mad when Aaron Rodgers said something to her, and then he said, "I own you," and they started to say he's classless.
She's flying double flags
You're
at him.
throwing fingers at him.
Yeah.
He has every right to bark back.
Look, I hate Aaron Rodgers, but
Yeah.
he had every right to do it,
Of
and he
course.
was right.
He was right.
And what
he
did you
can't
do?
bitch about
He
it.
owns the Bears.
Right.
When you watched it, you're laughing at
Yeah,
it. I mean, it's like
absolutely.
he's talking back.
I was laughing at
They,
it when I watched
It's
it.
trash talk.
Yeah.
It's part of it. It's fun. It's
Yeah.
part of it. To take that and have LeBron James go and have fans removed because no matter what they said, and it could have been awful. No matter what they said, it's not his spot to be a Los Angeles Laker in Indiana going, stop the game. I need these people out.
What was great is right
Garbage.
after that happened, already posted on Instagram and other on Twitter were these Jordan things where the person on the courtside seat, Heckling Jordan, and Jordan basically bombs 2 threes
And just points at
and he
him.
keeps
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
he goes by him.
Yeah.
Both fast
Boom.
breaks deals with, and then sits on the bench and looks at the guy and points at him and goes, gives him the shh.
Yeah, when you're down tight on that thing, the fans talk.
Oh yeah.
I mean, a lot of them are, there to get the TNT cameras on their wife's new gigantic $12,000 lips and new
I'm
eyes.
okay with that,
And
though.
I'm cool with that
Yeah.
most of the time. Some of them look like remember when the Joker turned Jerry Hall into that thing? A lot of them look like that. And the guys look like that, too. There's
Spike Lee.
Spike Lee is great, but he
Known
goes to
for his
Knicks
courtside.
games and talked to Reggie Miller the whole time.
Yeah.
Spike Lee got away with it because he's Spike Lee. But he and Reggie Miller had some fights.
Oh yeah.
And Alonzo Mourning, he would get under the skin of those guys, too. That's part of it. That's part of the fun of sport. You got to keep it classy as a fan, and there's a moment in time when you're like, you're classless. And to the Diamondbacks' credit, their fans have handled their own. I remember that guy that was mouthing off at my friend because he was in a Cubs jersey, my buddy Jim, and he wouldn't shut up, and he was drunk, and the guy behind us tapped us on the shoulder and said, if anything happens with this guy, we've got your back. Just know that you guys haven't said a thing.
Yeah.
And then the guy's like, let's go. I'm like, you're in a Diamondbacks game.
Yeah.
You think we're the only people here it's 70-30 Cub fans. I don't know what you're thinking you're protecting here, but you need to calm it down a little bit. Fans can fight with each other all day. Suns and Four guy is a legend because he was in Denver wearing Suns gear. I mean, that didn't happen here. People forget that dude was kind of on foreign turf and he handled himself, but the around there were giving him grief because he was wearing the other team's colors. It used to be kind of a thing, but man, I tell you what, it's LeBron stopping that game, and then 2 days later gets fined for throwing fingers because he will not tolerate obscene gestures at all. This guy.
Now you have your hand on the pulse more with the NBA than I do. But
Yep.
is he still marketed as the man, like
Yeah.
Superman?
Goat.
And
Yes.
he's still okay.
Yeah, he's it's obviously fading.
I was just going to ask that.
It's not what it was, but he is still LeBron. LeBron is LeBron, and he owns the league. I mean, LeBron calls shots. He's built a basketball team poorly. He's the GM in Los Angeles. He built that team.
Right.
He's gotten the players he's wanted. He made Anthony. He tampered. There's no question with the rules and everything else that anybody. Draymond Green got fined for going on TV saying they got to get Devin Booker out of Phoenix. That's a wasteland. A couple years ago, because it was tampering with the idea that you can come play with us. I'll make it happen. We'll talk to the proper people. Tampering is such a gray area.
Yeah.
So they find him. LeBron goes off and says just out loud, we're going to get Anthony Davis. We're going to have this. And he basically said who he's going to get before these guys were available. And he's a jackass. And anybody who defends him is a jackass. He used to be okay. And then, ever since the decision, and LeBron's been coddled since he was 11.
I mean,
nobody likes him.
Are Lakers fans even
No.
kind of done with
I
him
know
yet?
a couple Laker fans that are like, look, we'll take the championship, obviously.
You take him on,
But he's not
anybody's
theirs.
getting to that point where
He's not a Laker.
yeah.
I know a couple Laker fans is like, it's a and this whole team is just this manufactured, strange sort of like, it's this, I guess it's a super team if you want to, like Westbrook, but it's not blending at all. Davis and him and Westbrook aren't playing well. But yeah, LeBron is still LeBron, but he's got his, Enes Kanter, who's a guy who has had death threats. I think he's Syrian or Turkish. I don't remember. But he had threats from people in his country saying, we'll kill you on the court because of religious and war and political and all sorts of different things that are going on. Enes Kanter is all over LeBron for saying, you're a human rights guy and you're working with China this closely? Yeah. Is it only human rights where you are? And he's been outspoken like crazy. And now he's changing his name, which I think he should have done a long time ago when he had all those people trying to kill him. He's 7 feet tall, and he's got Kanter written on his back. There's no other Kanters in the league, so pretty much. And he had to take a couple games off because there were some serious threats that this dude had to hide for a little bit. Like, this was a couple years ago during the it's no joke. And he's out loud like, LeBron is not a good representative. And they're in a big Twitter battle, which is great. It's great fun to watch the other players. And nobody would ever do this to Jordan. Nobody ever did this to Michael Jackson, Magic Johnson. Michael Jackson, too, and he was he's like Mark Randall. He had that whole secret life.
But it's kind of like Brady was saying that, Jordan had class. He would just walk by and go, I did that.
But that's the crazy part. Jordan didn't have class. Jordan was a bigger dick than LeBron.
But I mean, the persona that he put out on the court. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
You want to mouth off to him, he'll beat your team on the floor. And I don't think LeBron can do it anymore, and I think that's starting to show. I think it's starting to show where he's getting frustrated with fans because he can no longer beat a team on the court because the guys around him, he can still play the game. But
stuff that he does travels a lot faster. I mean, there would have been a difference, Jordan.
Michael?
And in this
it led Sports Center every night.
Michael was the first to have a Twitter before Twitter. Everything that guy said and did was on ESPN. That guy was under the microscope and also fairly protected because the NBA was making. But he didn't do anything.
No.
Like the way Charles Barkley mouthed off to fans and spit on that little girl because he was mad at that heckler and stuff. Charles had that in him. But Charles fought back. He didn't have people removed. To his credit, Charles would spit on you if you got under his skin, and that's not right either. But it's the NBA. You have to remember the NBA, and if you've ever been down there, you're a foot and a half away from the game. You're on the floor. There's no other game that has that. None. There's no barrier. You can get up and walk out in the middle of the floor. For some reason, the NBA is well-behaved fans, for the most part, that don't just get up and walk out on the floor. Football can't even keep that together. Football has streakers. Baseball has people. NBA very rarely has somebody just go, I'm just going to go out there. There's nothing stopping you at all, and they do it. So it's just words. Jordan and Barkley. Barkley used to fall for it. Alonzo Mourning, obviously the malice in the palace got a little out of hand there that time. The fans fought, but the fans were actually getting physical.
Projectile.
Yeah, they were throwing stuff, and it got ugly. And there's the risk of that. But for the most part, the fans can say and do whatever they want, especially on the road, no matter how egregious and awful it is. And LeBron can't stop a game and say, I want these people who hate me here in Indianapolis have said things that have offended me now. And it's because he doesn't have the game he used to. Convinced of it. He doesn't have the team he used to. And he gets frustrated easier. And he's not likable. That's the problem with LeBron James. He's just not a likable superhero. Magic Johnson, I hated Magic Johnson through his playing career. And the reason why is because he was so good. And by the end, you just couldn't help but go, God damn it, I kind of like Magic Johnson. Tom Brady's going through that right now for me. Mm-hmm. I've hated Tom Brady for years. But the reason I hated him, and I found reasons, he played on a team that clearly bent the rules. They played on a team that was maybe, but after a while, you're just like, you know what? When he went to Tampa, he started having personality. He's kind of fun. I like Tom Brady, and I don't want to.
He's not a robot that he was.
Yeah, you just tip your cap and say, you know what? I kind of think this guy's great.
I think the little differences that you see between LeBron and Tom Brady and Jordan and Magic Johnson is you'd always say, you know what? They made their players step up. They made them better players. You could see that on Magic for sure. Jordan definitely.
LeBron made his players better too, but LeBron could
not. It just doesn't feel like it's that much. That you would say that about LeBron as much as the.
He's 6'9", 270.
Yeah,
essentially, he can beat an entire team by himself.
I know,
and so he can make the other players better, but he also doesn't need to. He just needs them to do their jobs. Magic made players better. But LeBron's, in fairness to his game, he's made a lot of guys a lot of money that weren't very good.
Oh, yeah. But
Iman Shumpert and, you get into Kevin Love
Trevor
and his entire
Ariza.
career, Trevor Ariza.
Delonte.
Who was the little Australian point guard that they won a world championship because he did Deladova?
Deladonna.
I mean, these guys
that's
were
the girl.
They were dudes that shouldn't have been. Yeah, Belladonna was not on the team. Although she could have been and probably would have had a few points because in LeBron's prime, but he's just not a likable guy. That's the basic. I mean, the bottom line is outside of where he plays, and even in L.A., they're kind of like, we like him, but we don't love him. He's just not that. He's just not a guy you're like, wow, I really just hang on every word he says. He's kind of a jackass. And Jordan got that heat, too, when he was like, he just didn't get political enough. And we saw that in that documentary. He's like, he wasn't outspoken enough. They wanted him to be more outspoken. He's like, green. And Michael made it clear. It's all about the money and my legacy.
Yeah, Democrats and Republicans buy shoes. I don't care.
That's exactly right. Yep. And that's his famous quote. He said, Democrats and Republicans both buy shoes. He said, red and blue, I don't care. Green, that's the color for me. And I admire that because that kept him out of the fray. And he could have probably done more socially, but he didn't want to. You can't force people to do that. He didn't
he had
feel like
opportunities.
He didn't want to be the face of
turn
something.
down appearance money, $100 million.
And
to go down. He's
think
like,
about
nope,
it.
not doing it.
Jumpman, that logo, it's dangerous to get political with that thing. You don't want to do that.
Yeah.
That's people hate it, but that's smart. Yes, he could have done more for communities and everything else. I don't know how much he gives to charity or anonymously or otherwise. None of my business. But I don't think it's anybody's, it's not your right to say, well, I've made so much I have to give back. Maybe he does, but he doesn't do it the way you want, so all of a sudden he's a bad guy. I think he's fine, but LeBron is a douche. He's a complete douche. And that's the problem. He might do a ton for communities and charity and all this other stuff, but he's just not a likable superhero.
But you can separate the two. He can be an asshole and still
two
do
things
great
can be true at once. Yeah, he's an asshole who does a ton of great things, but he's still not likable. It's Percy from Green Mile. Percy might have given to charity. You don't know, but you remember him for one thing. I hate that guy.
Edward Delacroix.
Yeah, you were here to die by the electric chair. Percy didn't wet the sponge. LeBron is a guy that wouldn't let wet the sponge.
Right.
He would be that douche. He's Percy.
Text just came in. Hey, Toledo, your boy's at it again.
Me?
Apparently.
Because I hate LeBron?
Yeah.
Must be a LeBron supporter. That guy must be a dude. Well, that's what I've always said, and you guys know that. If you like LeBron, you're a douche, too. So, I mean, it's okay. There's a world of douchebags. I'm just not a fan. And the Laker fans, that's a tough position to be in because if he was a son, you'd be like, all right.
LeBron.
Give us your 20 a night. And let's. It would be tough. There are certain, for me, when Michael Vick became a Steeler for a month, I just didn't watch the games. I can't. There's a certain point where that line just gets blurred where you're like, I can't. How can I cheer for everything I don't like? And that dude was different because it was criminal.
In the 90s, Danny Ainge coming to your team.
Danny Ainge coming to your team was...
From the Celtics.
But the difference with Danny Ainge was you always wanted Danny Ainge on your team.
Yeah.
You hated him on the other team.
Because he could
There's players like that. I can't stand him, but he's on my team. He's great. I love him. Bring him on.
You put him on my... Javier Baez for the Cubs is unlikable. There's nothing... But as a Cub, he's just this flashy jackass. And you're like, if he was on... I would bean him every time if he was on the other team. And now he is on the other team. So there's always that Danny Ainge type. You're like, this jackass destroys us.
Rodman
was brilliant. He was just a brilliant human. And the Suns could use a Rodman type. I think Mikal Bridges has his skills but doesn't have the mental. Jay Crowder could do it. There's a Rodman type mentality missing from that team. If they get a guy like that, forget it. Suns basketball's back tonight. Anyway, I started that whole thing saying Kyle Rittenhouse is at ASU.
That's what it was.
Yeah. Yeah, but because of the fragility of people. So I'm reading about this. Rittenhouse was supposed to go to ASU, and then there was a rally against
taking online classes.
Yeah. Did you hear who's the rally is led by? I didn't even know this was a thing. Remember when college was fun? It's the ASU Students for Socialism. Yeah, are the ones who cannot stand Kyle Rittenhouse, and they're saying...
How big is that group?
Evidently big enough to be newsworthy and go Fox and everything else. So, of course, Fox is going to jump on that. The word socialism's involved. They're going to attack it. But Kyle Rittenhouse now was going to take some classes here, I guess. And the ASU Students for Socialism said, we can't have him on the campus. We won't feel safe. You think he's going to run around with his AR-15? You think he's going to run around and get this killer off our campus? And you can have an opinion about Kyle Rittenhouse. Do you think he's going to do it again? It's like, I'd let OJ in my house.
What you want to do is do a protest because that's what brought him out in the first place.
Exactly. What are you marching against Kyle Rittenhouse for? That's where he does his damage.
They got a list of demands and everything right here.
I know. Their list is insane. They want the school not only to keep him out, but to publicly acknowledge as an entire institution that he's a murderer and a white supremacist. And they're like, well, a court of law does that. That's not ASU's job. And they're like, we will protest this campus until you say, as ASU, he is a white supremacist. And you don't know the history of every student on that campus. That's crazy talk.
Rittenhouse is being taken advantage of by the Republican Party anyway.
Wow, that got so political.
Let the kid go to school.
Yeah, he's out.
Jeez.
I hate to break it to you, and you can disagree with
I
all
agree.
you want.
He's out.
He's not guilty. That's not your decision to make. You can have it in your own head that he's guilty or not guilty and not hire him at your job or anything else and do what you can to stop him from doing things. But fact of the matter is, and you can hate it all day long, a lot of people do, he's not guilty of the crime he was accused of.
Hey, neither was OJ.
And neither's
Quote,
OJ.
unquote, you know?
And he's out and about, and you can leave the room when he comes in, and you can not golf at the places OJ golfs at. But basically what it comes down to is you can't keep him out, but you can stop frequenting places that like him. So ASU's Students for Socialism, which is odd because it's an entire group of people coming together making sure we're all even and equal and everybody's getting a fair shake, wants to keep this dude, and also probably are all for criminal reform and all this other stuff and making sure the justice system's so broken and blah, blah, blah until it worked for you. But, yeah, the Rittenhouse thing, it's not your business to say. And it's not ASU's job to say, all right, we, as the entire University of Arizona State, would like to step into this pile of crap and say that Kyle Rittenhouse is a murderer and a white supremacist. That should do great things for us. That doesn't polarize anything. ASU's not going to do that. Students for Socialism. By the way, you lost me at Students for Socialism.
Hey, come to college, see the world, expand your horizons, do all this stuff, except for this little thing.
You know what Students for Socialism are doing, just by the title of their organization? Taking people like me off the fence and putting them on the other side. Whatever they're the Baker Mayfield of arguments. The second I hear what they think, I'm going the other way. If they hate it, I'm for it. Students for Socialism. You don't know what you're talking about. Go move to a socialist country for a couple of years and then come back and go, I was wrong.
Way wrong.
Some socialism. Shut up. Go to school and shut up. Remember when being drunk and a whore was the fun part of college?
The good old days.
The good old days. Now there's always been the marches and the nonsense, but they get over it and they start Ben and Jerry's. You'll be a capitalist soon enough. The second that college degree kicks in, you're just mad you're 30 grand deep into loans for a teaching degree, idiot. It's your fault. You chose a non-paying job that cost you $100,000 to get. I could have told you needed an economics class to tell you, hey, don't spend $100,000 for a $30,000 a year job. Dumb. Don't be a teacher. That's the big thing. I know it's your calling and stuff, but don't. It's a waste. Ask Toledo's wife. Miserable. She's passionate about it and all that.
Yep.
But that's as far as it goes. The money sucks.
If you
Everything
want
about
to
it's
roll on
terrible.
the high life,
The pressure's
that's
miserable. Yeah. Don't start bitching to me about your income. I have $150,000 in student loans. What'd you do for a living? I'm a teacher. That's an upside project. You should have known that going in.
I want a yacht. I want multiple homes.
Right.
I don't think be a teacher.
I don't think they want that. But anybody that says, hey, Mark Randall's new job at Audacity Radio, if they said, give us $100,000 and we'll pay you $50,000 a year. It's like, you're going to lose. That's every time. I'm not a mathematician, but I'm pretty sure you're upside down on that immediately.
You need that meter that comes with your credit cards that says, this balance will take you this long to pay off.
Right. At the
minimum,
current rate.
At minimum
At
payment.
the job you're seeking, you realize that you're never going to get rid of the debt, right?
Oh, and by the way, you'll never be able to change jobs until you pay this off.
Look, everybody knows what the future is for college kids. Some liposuction and an OnlyFans page. That's the only way you're ever going to make money as a,
if you're a hot chicken, absolutely.
If you're and if you're not, start getting that way.
Yeah. Hit the gym.
Be what's called body positive and start making people uncomfortable with yourself in underpants, and people will pay attention to you. But being a teacher, you're wasting your time. There should never, and that's my argument back schools. Like you've made it such a nightmare, you're just going to lose out. Teachers aren't going to show up anymore. It's my passion. Well, then you're not getting paid. You need to live on that. But yeah, this Kyle Rittenhouse thing, I laughed hysterically last night at the news when we want the school to say he's a murderer and a white supremacist. Like, that is not going to happen. There is no possible way the guy running that school is going to come out and publicly state that Kyle Rittenhouse is a murderer and a white supremacist and then feel the wrath of the other side. Sure, the socialists got to you, but imagine what the right side's going to do when they come back and go, really? ASU is not going to bow down to the ASU Students for Socialism.
This white supremacist killed white people.
Do you think Kyle Rittenhouse should be able to go to ASU?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I think he's as safe as flying a day after a plane crash. I think Kyle Rittenhouse has learned his lesson. I think he might be a little gun shy, if you know what I mean. Yeah, I don't think Kyle's going to wander around with his weapon anymore. Nice. Yeah, thank you. I just don't think he's wandering about with weapons too often. I don't think Kyle
Heading
Rittenhouse...
out to a protest.
Yeah, he's not going to any marches. Yeah. He might not, get in a line ever again. I don't think you're going to see Kyle on his Instagram doing target practice. I just think Kyle's going to be real protected of the whole thing. He and Alec Baldwin are pretty much gun-free from here on out. It's just not happening. But I laugh because there is talk about an unfun group of college students to run into. The Students for Socialism. Oh, the parties they must have suck.
You don't think they're at Fat Tuesdays on Mill Avenue on Saturday nights, just drinking up the 190 octanes and all that stuff,
guzzling water, and talking about how this country needs to be changed completely because I don't have any money right now. Nobody has any money at your age, dumbass.
Compared to a fraternity, it's the safest club to be part of.
Oh, man. That is true. At least they're not going to shut you down. The socialism thing scares people. Yeah, you're Bernie Sanders kids. All right, everybody, we're going to have a big day of shoe. There'll be cupcakes, and we'll have punch. I hope nobody spikes it because I can't handle that kind of stuff. Anyway, Students for Socialism, I'm all for you. When your favorite person is 80, and that's your hero, you got posters on your wall of an 80-year-old, and it's not Clint Eastwood, you're lame. You. That's an immediate swipe. Which way's bad, right? I'm getting rid of you a second. Look and go, oh, she's a student for socialism. Immediately an unfun. You're an unfun. Just call yourselves unfun.
Oh, I'm an unfun.
Oh, all right. Well, thank you for being so upfront.
Yes, my name's Stephanie. I'm a student for socialism, and I'm an unfun.
Oh, an unfun. Thank you, unfun. You just bitch about everything, right?
Yes, that's what I do. I don't have any fun at all. I bitch about everything. I don't like anything. Capitalism.
You're 19 and you're already against capitalism? What in the world? When did capitalism touch you?
But here's the good thing about no matter what they're involved in, if you're a traditional college student, you'll go to a couple of meetings because she's hot.
Oh, if she's smoking hot, I'm a socialist. I'm boning the socialist.
I can get in there.
If you...
It just doesn't matter.
Dude, she's so stupid and unfun, but man, that ass. And I don't know if socialists have great asses. I would imagine not. That's why they're so mad.
I'm saying fastbacks.
Hold this sign here.
Most of them are fastbacks, yeah. Yeah, most of them are, equality for all. It usually doesn't come with a great ass. Because she makes all the flat asses next to her mad.
Well, I didn't get one of those. I want ass socialism. Where's ass socialism? I should be able to get ass injections to look like her.
Yeah, there aren't many girls who have a great look who are mad at the United States.
Oh, you just convinced me to skip that meeting.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like you don't have girls who have grown up hot going, you know what I'm against? The capitalistic system. They're just not. Life's been too easy.
AOC has...
she's managed to be pretty...
But it's few and far between.
I don't think... she was pretty hot in college. Those videos of her in college, she looked good. So something happened to her. Because maybe I'm wrong. Maybe socialist college girls are smoking hot. I don't know.
I mean, nothing's definite. I mean, there's always those ones that slip through.
The outliers. Yeah.
It's worth checking out.
I might go to a couple of socialist meetings to see these college girls. They're bitching about
scouting.
It took me 6 years of being a complete-minded human being to recognize that the United States needs to scrap capitalism.
Okay, sister. You're 5 years removed from Rugrats. Let's calm down a little bit about demolishing the entire process.
Democracy doesn't work.
You're drunk. Or you need to be. Oh, imagine that, Brady. You got Kirby off to school, and she comes back.
Did you join any clubs?
I did. These Students for Socialism, old man, and you've got some problems. You're too to the green, fella.
Crap, she's an unfun.
And the winemaking club.
That's the worst you can be as an unfun. Winemaking club wouldn't be so bad. I'd like to get involved in the winemaking club. That's pure capitalism.
Think about Kirby
oh, my God. I didn't even think of who you're talking about. She is the wine club.
Dominant producer.
She has a job in the wine club.
Yes. No, stay out of the lab, Kirby.
Everybody for Kirby stomping the grapes, say aye. Aye. Opposed? The grapes are going to get it now.
We've never gotten these kind of results.
Never had this much wine, ever. She's mashing every last cylinder of drip out of that.
Honey, the wine is fine, but the Greta Thunberg posters are coming down.
Right. The unfuns. Have fun in college. What are you trying to dismantle democracy for? You're at ASU, for crying out loud. You didn't do that great in high school. You're all right. You're not getting anything done at ASU other than drinking, going to Fat Tuesdays, hitting those giant blue drinks. Shut your mouth. You're not at Harvard. You're a Sun Devil, for Christ's sake. The world has never changed in Tempe because of Tempe. It just doesn't.
John, I agree with you with the looks in that club, but I imagine a socialist would have to pass a little ass around for everyone in that club, right?
Wait a minute. What? Yeah, you got to give it. He's right.
You got to give ass to everybody.
Everybody. If you give ass to Tom, you have to give ass to Tony. Or socialists. Why does he get it
and
all?
Vice versa. Tony's got to give.
Tom's getting 100% of that sweet ass. Where's the socialist part of this?
And Bernie.
Yeah. I get a piece of that pie. I need some twine and 2 popsicle sticks. It's getting hot. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. I don't understand that. College was supposed to be fun. And again, you're at ASU. You're not going. You may think you're that important because TikTok and your Instagram page tells you so, but you're at ASU. You're not changing the world. Period. It's never happened. Al Michaels may be the only guy.
That's the good news. College really changed all that much.
Well,
There's
no.
always been those extreme clubs.
The unfunds.
It just...
But it makes me laugh.
It is what it is.
Because you're a Sun Devil. Like you at Athens, Ohio. University, Ohio. Anybody in a group that thinks they're going to change America in Athens, Ohio, at the as a bobcat.
The one guy that came up with the Meg's Gold weed plant.
Right.
You'll get a
plant. You'll get a capitalist out of it.
That's an impact, yeah.
You'll get a guy who invents something. I'm saying you're not going to sit in your socialist group over here at ASU and have anyone listen to you.
Yeah.
The world is not paying attention to the Students for Socialism at ASU. They're just not. There isn't anybody going, well, what do we do next? Let's consult the ASU Students for Socialism. You guys are an offshoot. You're alone.
They're the fifth dentist. Nobody wants to hear from them.
That's right. 4 to 5 dentists don't like Trident. What was the 5th guy doing? What's his beef with Trident? Why is
he's out.
Yeah. You're not getting anything done. You have your stupid meetings at the Java Hava, and you think that you're getting things done. And you're doing nothing. You're wasting your college experience at ASU. Now, if you were at Harvard or if you were at a big school where people are like, these Harvard kids have a point, you're at ASU. You didn't do much.
No,
it's not an accomplishment.
Even at Harvard, I get what you're saying about levels.
Sure.
But even at Harvard, you can just scream a little louder at Harvard.
All I'm saying is there's a 1 or 2% chance somebody might listen to you at Harvard.
Yeah.
At ASU, you're wasting your time. Yeah. Go get drunk, hit the chuck box, throw up on the carpet.
What's that one walk called that everybody sits out at in spring?
The what?
The one walk, that promenade.
Oh, the Palm Walk.
Palm Walk, that's it.
It's ass central out there. That's all that place is.
That's all you want ASU for.
Yeah. It used to be a party school, and now you got the Students for Socialism trying to keep Kyle Rittenhouse out. Settle down. Kyle Rittenhouse is not going to shoot you. You're not that important. Kyle Rittenhouse is not going to shoot you.
You won't be safe. The campus won't be safe.
Here's the thing I know about Kyle Rittenhouse. Don't hit him with a skateboard. I know he gets a little trigger happy. That's about as far as I'm taking Kyle Rittenhouse being. And if you're so afraid of Kyle Rittenhouse, get in your glass house in your bubble and be afraid of everything. There's a lot more dangerous crap out there than Kyle Rittenhouse that you don't know about. At least you know Kyle Rittenhouse. I prefer my murderers and my killers and strange people to be out in the open. Like if O.J. Simpson walks by, I know what to be aware of. I'm highly aware of his M.O. I don't know, Joe Schmo walking towards me, his history. I'd be more afraid of the entire ASU campus. And I'm like, there's that Kyle Rittenhouse. Chances are he's not going to do anything bad today.
Right.
I am safer around Kyle Rittenhouse than anybody else. Give me a whole bunch of exonerated people in a room, and I'm happier than I am with a group of strangers.
But you saw that library thing. Imagine a couple of those entitled pricks walk up on Kyle Rittenhouse as he's going to class.
Oh, he'd be in hell.
Come on.
Yeah.
And I don't look. It's like OJ. I'm not antagonizing him just in case he was guilty.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe he is that. I don't want to start yelling at him.
You can open carry your AK in this state, can't you?
If Rittenhouse has those kind of nuts on him, look at me. Now I'm celebrating it. All right, that's bananas. And then they're right. But I think the Students for Socialism need to toughen up. Hey, Buttercup, grow some duck feathers, huh? You're safe with Kyle Rittenhouse around. It's all right.
I just don't feel safe. He's a murderer and a white supremacist.
Okay. I don't think so is everybody on Greek Row, by the way.
Oh, my God. Everybody.
Every one of those guys. Have you been to one of their blackface parties yet? Because they still have them. There's just no...
They're a blast, man.
There's just no photos.
Pre-COVID. Wasn't that what ASU's problem was?
Loads of it. Nazis and blackface parties. And come on. College is a place everybody loses their mind.
John, you've done a number on my kids this morning. I have you guys playing in the house, waiting for them to get ready for school. My son walked in earlier with wearing a Lebon shirt. Heard you talking trash about him. Immediately went in to change for school. So thank you for that. Also, now he's wondering what socialism is.
Well, get him in on it, and maybe he'll be one of the students for socialism. What socialism is socialism is a group of people scared to death of Kyle Rittenhouse. That's what I've learned about that.
Yeah.
That they're so worried about the world, and they have no personal inner strength at all, and they think they're being strong by saying, "I am scared to walk on the campus." Well, that's a real tough position you've taken.
I just don't feel safe.
All right. Well, then shut up and hide.
I think another important lesson you could teach them right off the bat is if someone's carrying a gun, don't try to take that gun from that person.
Well, unless they're pointing it at you.
Yeah.
Right. Always assess the danger element. Yeah. If he's just walking around, if you have a situation where a guy has a gun, an AR-15, in a place that's just like, classroom, you should leave the classroom. If he has it pointed at you, Tactical Black can help you get out of that pickle.
Yeah.
I mean, you can start disarming people when you're in the line of fire. If it looks like he's going to start shooting, you need to do something. If he's walking around with a gun on his chest, he's able to do that. Kyle Rittenhouse in the air. I'm not comfortable. I know it's legal with a dude wandering around with an AR-15 in any situation.
Yeah.
At all.
You mean if he's walking to the Chuck Box one lunch with his AR strap?
There's going to be some phone calls.
Yeah, and you know what happens if I work at Chuck Box? This one's on me. I'm not making you mad.
I got you, kid.
Students for socialism. Unfuns. They're unfun. They walk around up and down Mill Avenue, evidently, with signs all the time. That's not what Mill Avenue's for. I got in an argument with a guy.
Yes, it is.
I know, but it's not. It's not. No, it isn't.
That and that guy with that cross on wheels.
It's not what
cruising.
it's for. It's not what it's for. It's what it happens on.
There you go. Okay.
Yeah, I argued with the dude with the cross with wheels. What are you doing? I'm simulating Jesus' walk to. I'm like, no, you're not. Jesus didn't have wheels. Take the wheels off. And your shoes. You're wearing
He's so
shoes
mad.
off,
Jesus
too.
is so mad at you right now because if you would have had wheels,
yeah,
there would have been so much.
Jesus. And wheels had been invented. Yeah. Like they gave Jesus the heavy.
By the way, it's the wrong cross anyway.
Right. Yeah, they're supposed to be a big pillar. And the other thing is, I'm supposed to whip you.
Right.
Like so, because I'm one of the
and
bystanders.
Not just one.
Yeah,
There's
I'm supposed to throw you.
Me and my buddies.
So as you walk by, dude on Mill Avenue recreating the walk and trying to make a point, I should be able to peg you with some rocks.
Yeah, you shouldn't be wearing a Yankees hat either. Where's that crown of thorns at?
Yes.
Was he in a Yankees hat? I don't know. Was Ari Spears walking up Mill Avenue?
That's crown of thorns enough.
Yeah. I wouldn't wear a Yankees hat. I'd wear a crown of thorns hat before a Yankees. Yeah, silly. God, I hate the active college people. They think they've got the world figured out because they're on their own for the first time. You're not. Stop it. Go to college. Feign that you're a philanthropist so you can haze people to death with drinking. And get yourself into parties. Work at a restaurant. Bone all the waitresses. And then walk away with stories. That's what college is. Brady doesn't have any skills from college at all. You're the only college graduate in here. You have the least amount of skills from education I've ever seen a man have. But you are connected and you have stories. That's what college is about. Connections, stories, fun, happiness. You learn anything in college? Because it ain't showing.
How to have fun.
That's exactly right. You learned how to socialize and be on your own for a little while. It's great. It's an exercise to get. It's a lily pad from getting out of your folks' house into life a little bit, managing your own world, and then kind of jumping into the next level.
And you see, I don't want to be like that.
Yeah. You're sitting in a room with a D student. Come on. I'm an idiot. College doesn't necessarily give you. If you're an engineer or a doctor or something like that, you're going to be all right.
Now you got to focus.
Communications degree. I think if I thought about it.
Campusology.
Honestly, Brady, I think if I thought about it long enough, I could a communications degree out of my body. They're easy to get. Everybody gets one. You took the time to do it. I didn't. That's where you win. I hated college. I liked it the first couple of years, but then I'm like, this is brutal. I'm on the floor every day. What is going on? I wake up drunk constantly. This isn't fun for me. I like money more than spending. So I started working. That took a little while. You didn't go.
No,
at all.
2 years at GCC.
Yeah, you did the same thing I did. I did multiple years at all the community colleges. I toured the community colleges. I'm the king of CCs. Chandler, Gilbert, Glendale, Scottsdale, Mesa. Even went to that thing in South Mountain for a little bit. I forget what they called that. Some annex.
You didn't join the Socialist group over there?
No, I tried to join the MCC Students for Socialism, but then I had to remind them, nobody cares about us. We were D students in high school. We're not changing the world.
They let everybody in.
Yeah, everybody's allowed in here for $400. I could get. Stop it. Everybody needs to know our position. Nobody cares about our position. We're community college students. We're idiots. Get out of here. Have a position when you're 30. You mean nothing right now.
We could change the world.
Never happened. Never happened. You're making me root for Kent State all over again. Now shut your mouths. I'm a Zephyr. For life. Is that what they are?
Kent State Flash.
Flash. They're the Flash. The Golden Flash. Who's the Zephyrs?
You got the
Akron
Zips.
Flyers.
The Zips.
Akron,
Which they have to change
Toledo
that.
Rockets.
Or Dayton Flyers.
How are the Akron Zips
UD
still a
Flyers.
thing? How are the Akron Zips still a thing? Are you kidding me? Listen to Brett laughing at the Akron Zips. That's proof. This is the test on whether or not it's wrong. Akron Zips. Gigglefest over here knows that's not right.
They might have modified it. Maybe it's no longer the Zips.
I got to look that up.
I offer Brett. If I offer Brett some of my Nips crackers, look, that's how you know it's wrong.
Nibs? Did Nibs get you?
Nibs is not a
No,
thing.
not too much.
Nips,
No.
though. Nips is bad. That's not good.
Oh, the Zips are still a team.
Yeah, for now. And that just proves that the Asians are cool with it. They're over there doing all the chemistry and math and stuff right there in Akron. No Asian superstars are Akron. They all got to USC. They're going to good schools. The Zips. How in the world is? Look at him. He's giggling like crazy. That shouldn't be a team.
Yeah, but it's a kangaroo.
I don't know how that even got tied
I don't
into it.
either.
Yeah, that's Zippy.
Zippy the kangaroo.
Fear the Roo.
Get out of here.
Wouldn't it be funny if they
Because
just
that's what Akron's famous for is kangaroos.
if they swap the L's and the R's
Yes.
and the Zips? How is a
Apparently there's
kangaroo the Zip?
I don't
Doesn't even
remember
look
that.
like a
And they
kangaroo.
were-
It looks like a
we
dog.
played. I
They're
went
changing.
to Ohio University, and that
You
was
played
one
the
of-
Roos.
Yeah,
Fear
I don't
the
remember
Roo.
the Roo at all.
They're swapping out. What was their old mascot?
This
Guy in a coolie hat?
Chinese guy with circular lens glasses and buck teeth.
Back in Brady's day, that was okay. Wow. Mickey Rooney's character from Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Yeah.
Holy Moses. Anyway, Kyle Rittenhouse, I'm all for him not going to ASU. I think that's kind of creepy. Just because of the political, he's dividing. Let him do some online classes. Settle down. He's got to live his life. He's young.
All right, I can get shirts.
Get him while you can. Because pretty soon the Z word's going to be a thing. We're going to go through the whole alphabet. I'm offended by that.
Okay. In 1927, a campus-wide contest at Akron University was conducted to choose a nickname for the new athletic team.
In 27?
Student Margaret Hamlin suggested Zippers. Brett?
They invented zippers in Akron, right?
Which was also the name of a popular rubber overshoe sold by B.F. Goodrich in Akron.
Okay.
Then the director shortened the nickname to Zips.
Okay.
Doesn't explain how it
You're taking the
became-
fun out of this.
Yeah, you're not fun. Thanks a lot,
How it
student for
became
socialism.
fun.
We had a great time there thinking this was all dirty and awful and shouldn't say it. Now it's just about boots.
House servant
Zippy
that
the
worked
Mac-
in the house, and they
That would've
really
been
liked
better.
him.
How did the kangaroo come up? How did Zippy show up?
1953.
Wow.
53, they brought a Roo in.
Yeah.
Which has so much to do with shoes and
Yeah, so much to do with boots.
Yeah.
Another one, student council decided that one.
Yeah, they just don't care. Because you know what? Credit Akron's student body for recognizing we're Akron University. Everything we do is
Pick an
stupid.
animal you like.
Yeah, it was just what's your favorite animal we don't have here? I like kangaroos. Good. That's a thing.
Done.
Nobody cares about Akron.
All say A.
You know what will never impress anyone? I'm a graduate of Akron University. That sentence right there. Nobody's ever going to give him that job.
The president of the student council noticed that. I like Betty's choice of the kangaroo. Making a play for her.
Right.
He's
She had a
like,
great ass.
"Hot."
The girl who picked kangaroo was just as sweet an ass. She was the first girl back in that day that had feminine hygiene products.
Oh.
That was it. She was the only one not using socks and potato sacks to clean up her mess.
Everyone else is like, "Yeah, a tiger? Got a tiger.
Did you hear about Betty, the girl that picked the ruse? She shaves it.
What? Why?
Oh, you got to see it, man.
That's awesome.
I don't know what the hell's going on in all the other
I'd
churches.
attend that meeting.
Yeah, I would too.
I maintain my box.
Oh, she's the most important girl here.
It's unheard of.
Oh, my God. No other woman does that. I just think of the things our grandparents went through. Just to enjoy sex. Oh, peeling off that parachute they called underwear. Just to uncover that massive mound of fur ball that a cat threw up all over the place that's both disgustingly dry and gently moist at the same time. And then that wafting, hot Ren and Stimpy cartoon green floating off the top of it.
The Socialism Club at ASU still wears that, by the way.
No, they still have those.
I use all natural products.
Yeah, well, that's why the thing down there smells like a rotten tooth. Need a dentist for your
I
vagina.
understand why some factions would put just the hole in the sheet, cover it up.
Oh,
I don't deal with it.
I can't. I love you very much, but you want me to lasso the moon, Mary? Go clean that thing. The 20s. Yuck. I don't know. I can't imagine that oral sex happened until like 1974. I can't imagine that. Even then it was risky. But right around 74, 75 when,
74, 75, you still had the Sherwood Forest and everything else. And,
yeah, but they invented that FDS stuff, which was just a spray on cover. Because women knew.
That's just the shellac.
I don't know how to get in there.
It's the original Axe body spray.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Oh, for the axe wound.
Brady's very uncomfortable. Did you see him look down?
I
like
didn't try that.
Did you see?
Yeah, he did.
Brady looked down like a kid who just got in trouble.
Yeah.
Over the line. Over the line. Over the line.
Let it go. Dang it. I'm bad. I'm a Kyle Rittenhouse Jr.
Anyway. All right,
John, to be fair, them white socialists in that group probably should be afraid of Rittenhouse. He is 3 for 3 against white people.
That's
after
true.
all.
I mean, that's the thing. You're the one he's aiming at.
So to speak.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. This is ASU accepts anyone who applies, right? This guy says, I went to ASU. I can say that. I got in. Yeah, ASU's not world-changing. Nobody's turning to the campus of ASU to see what the next steps Earth needs to take are. You're ASU. Know your place. Know your place in society. You're ignored. Your football team stinks. Until the football team's any good, nobody's going to pay attention. You guys will start having some say. But until then, nobody cares. What do you got on the big board of musical treats over there, Bert?
Time for the song brought to you by our buddies over there at Action Ride Shop. Big selection of bikes right now. A lot of these stores right now are having issues getting them. They got pretty much any kind of Santa Cruz you want in stock, plus pivots.
I just saw the list.
Yeah. Konas. And, of course, they got all your snow gear there. So check them out, actionrideshop.com, as well as on Facebook and Instagram. Do we even need to go through the list? Because you guys saw the one.
It's for our friend Mark Randall,
Yeah.
who's no longer be part of it. We're not going to tell him any more secrets. We're not going to talk to him much. He's taking his vast collection of questionable pornography of age question all the way over to Audacity Radio. Hopefully they never find it. And he's leaving us for greener pastures. But Ladyboy by Till Lindemann is going to be the song that we say goodbye to Mark. The listeners have said. I love him. I love him with all my heart and soul as a coworker. I wish him nothing but the best, but I hope they never find his collection of questionable pornography on his work phone. Which he carries around all because, you don't want to leave that laying around. And Ladyboy. For all
fitting for his stories,
late night
too.
process. Brett used to tell me those stories all the time. He said, not for nothing, but I seen him with this girl, boy thing. I'm like, oh, boy. Good. I'm like, Brett, what's going on?
Enjoy the Easter keg, Denver.
You think he's bringing it to Denver? No, he's doing more than that. He's not doing events like that anymore. He might introduce it if he lasts long enough, if they don't ever dive through his phone. Oof, that thing's dangerous. The late night prostitutes, the terrible pornography habit and collection. The assless pants, a lot of times you wore those. Audacity, you've got yourself a winner. And if you don't want them, we'll take them back. For a reasonable fee. I mean, we're not going to go crazy. That's paid what he's paid.
Incentive.
No, he's it's going to stink without Mark around. You got Ladyboy all ready to go?
No.
Oh, what are you loading it for? Didn't we have it before?
No.
Ladyboy's
I
a great
thought
song.
we did, but...
So did I. I thought we played Ladyboy.
Yeah, but we must have played it.
Is Ladyboy a...
It's clean.
Are you sure?
The version I have is.
It won't let you download it.
That makes me think it's not.
No, I got it.
I know. Oh, I know you got it. Boy, it's weird. Now my Geez, you do Ladyboy lyrics, RuPaul, the church. There's a lot of Ladyboy songs. I have to get more specific with my Ladyboy lyrics request. Till. That should do it. Yeah, this should be all right. Again, it goes back to RuPaul. We'll figure it out. There they are. It's Till Lindemann, the lead singer of Rammstein. We're just 10 months away from that show finally happening, the 2020 Rammstein show in L.A.
Maybe,
well, that's right, because you know why. Omicron. Sam Witwicky, you must stay in the house. But Bumblebee. Omicron has killed Bumblebee. I am Optimus Prime. This is Omicron. Excuse me. I have a tickle.
Arizona's most powerful rock radio station. He said fully erect. 98 KUPD.
You've been listening to Holmberg's Morning Sickness Podcast, brought to you by our friends at Eric's Family Barbecue in Avondale. Meet, mesquite, repeat. Eric'sFamilyBBQ.com.